Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Avatar: The Last Airbender. This time we're on episode 4, we're episode 4 of season 2. Last time we tried returning to Amashu. Well, we succeeded in returning to Amashu, but as we saw at the end of episode 2, it had been taken under siege by the Fire Nation, so pretty much Ba Sing Se take 2. And I think it was successful too. By the end of the episode, they still didn't really get the Fire Nation out. They managed to evacuate all the people, but then the Fire Nation was still in control and they were still in charge and everything. So it was pretty much like a more successful take on Ba Sing Se and everything. And they even then realized that Ba Sing Se was actually the only Earth Kingdom city left that actually wasn't like under threat or under siege or under imminent danger of the Fire Nation's control. So yeah, I think that could be where they're headed next. Given that now, from Boomy we learned that he can't teach Aang any earthbending until Aang has actually mastered neutral Jing from another earthbender. So like Boomy is currently in like his own kind of metal coffin with just his face and his head, trying to earthbend his way to freedom and everything, but he, like him having already mastered neutral Jing, he can't teach him, given that he's under this kind of this much restraint. But he has told Aang what he needs to know, and he has sent him on his way with like a new kind of destination now, so he can actually learn bending from another master. So hopefully that goes well. But yeah, we had Boomy coming in with the neutral Jing, and we had May coming in too. May actually she actually needed like a new team. She actually needed like a new team to try and hunt down Iroh and Zuko. So she contacted some old friends. I thought she'd be going after the Master Archer kind of group that Zhao had in his command in season 1. But no, she actually had her own very, very special and very skilled kind of contacts of her own. One of which was already in the city because her dad was the general overseeing the siege of Amashu. So that was May. May has her own kind of Black Widow's bite style kind of darts, like sleeves on her hand and in her legs thing as well. So she has some moves and some darts and skills of her own. So that's cool. And then she actually recruited Ty Lee from the nearby kind of circus. Ty Lee is pretty much a master acrobat. I think both of them together would be like, I think all of them, but especially May and Ty Lee together, would just be like two halves of Black Widow, like one having the acrobatic skills and the other one having the darts and the other kind of combat skills and everything. So together they are essentially a dream team. Azula, May and Ty Lee are pretty much like a dream team, and now they are teaming up to try and hunt down Iroh and Zuko and punish them for their crimes. And now, having met the Avatar for the first time now too, Azula has happily added him to her hit list. So they'll be hunting all three of them now, and maybe, as maybe Sokka and Katara getting in the way, maybe they'll actually end up on the target list somehow too, like just kind of collateral damage or something. But yeah, so now Aang has made it onto Azula's hit list, so seeing them in action in the future should be more fun. But I think for now, we didn't really get any of Zuko or Iroh in the last episode, so I think I'm curious as to how the hunt, but like in what order she might hunt them to, because I think because Iroh and Zuko and Aang are clearly kind of headed in separate directions and everything, and I think Zuko is still kind of intent on getting the Avatar back to the Fire Nation, and so he might still go to Aang, so I think they might cross paths in that way too, like Azula, like probably knowing that Zuko is going to be dead set on still capturing the Avatar by any means necessary. She might still kind of use that to just kind of follow Aang, and then you'll actually get to Zuko and Iroh too. So yeah, it should be fun. And she has blue fire too. Azula has blue fire. We actually learned that in the last episode. She can bend lightning and regular fire, but then she also knows how to kind of. She's also pretty much mastered the art of bending blue fire, the hottest flame. So Azula has incredible kind of precision and control and skills and everything. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this kind of dream team works in action against all these targets combined and how things are going to go down. So it should be fun. It should be very, very fun. So that is pretty much all I've got from the last one. We had some chaos. We had some chaos with actually evacuating people too. They actually pretended to have pentapox. They pretended to have pentapox with the plague and everything, and managed to evacuate all the inhabitants of Omashu that way. And then Momo had some chaos with the general's son, the baby boy and everything, and then I think we had like a bit of an interesting tidbit there with like the baby being like as innocent as it was, and then the kind of like I think the kind of the more thought-provoking kind of side effect of is the baby really destined to be Fire Nation, or can it be changed, or can it be raised under better conditions? But yeah, I think it didn't really kind of lead to much else besides from Aang actually returning the baby to its parents as he should have done. So we had that resolution. But yeah, I think that was pretty much all I took from the last one. So on to episode 4 of season 2 of this show. So onto the reaction. This one will just be, as always, this will just be like the best bits and the highlights of the episode and stuff. But if you guys want to catch the full-length version, the full-length reaction, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that one over there, and that will be just as much fun. So yeah, on to Avatar, The Last Airbender, season 2, episode 4. Let's go.
It's a long,
oh.
Sing, say, but the girls in the city,
Oh damn, he's a singer. He can sing. Or at least he likes to sing. Yeah, he likes to sing. Oh, dancing. Wow, swordplay. That's an interesting piece of incentive.
Boomy said to learn earthbending, I would have to wait and listen. And now I'm actually hearing the earth. Do you want me to ignore it?
Being summoned by the earth. Yes. That would be a great way to learn earthbending.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something ominous about that place.
Well, it is a swamp. They're not really known for being the best of places to hang out.
See?
Yeah.
Even Appa and Momo don't like it here.
Oh, tornadoes. A tornado. Oh, God.
We gotta move!
You disobey the swamp and it sends a tornado after you. Maybe there's an earthbend down there. Maybe, like, you know, he did say learn neutral Jing from another earthbender, so maybe the earthbender is who's calling down to you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How long can he hold it? No, not very long. Not very long at all, yeah.
Sokka, you've got an elbow leech.
Where?
Where do you think?
Oh, on your elbow. Jesus. Wow. There's got to be an earthbender down here. Yeah, they were the ones calling to you. And wow, he's caught in vines. He's literally caught in vines. Oh, God. Oh, Momo doing a good old snip. Oh no. Swamp doesn't want you to leave. Swamp does not want you leaving.
Something about this place feels alive.
I'm sure there are lots of things.
Maybe
that
the
are
swamp is an
alive.
earth. Could a swamp be an earthbender?
By them. We need to find Appa as fast as we can.
Could the swamp be an earthbender? Like an actual location, or like a more nature-y location? Like Earth is nature, so... No, boy, you can't, can't jump, can't crawl. Just collapse. Yeah, that's, Oh, boy. Oh, oh God. Ugh. Appa and Momo easily the most chaotic. Jesus, what the hell is that? Even for a swamp, this place is actually crazy.
No, I asked the swamp. It said this was fine. Right, swamp?
No problem, Sokka.
Oh boy. Fireflies. Yeah, oh, that's a whole load of eyes. That's a whole load of eyes. Fireflies. Or some version of fireflies in this universe. Oh God, what is watching them through all those things, the vines? Oh boy. Oh no. Oof. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Run. Or should you be running? Maybe he just wants to talk. Maybe he literally just wants to talk. Oh boy.
What'd you reckon make a track like that, though?
Don't know, do.
Though and do. And do and though. Okay.
Big ones, too.
Oh.
You know what's at the end of that trail? Dinner.
Oh, you guys are not hunting Appa. You guys are not hunting Appa. Or Momo, for that matter. Nuh-uh. No, oh no, what's that? A crocodile? Alligator? Crocodile? No. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, didn't even get a bite. Didn't even get a bite. No, just spat it right out again.
Can you help me? Mom?
Her mother? No, hallucination.
I can't believe...
No, hallucinations. Hallucinations. Oh no, Katara.
You think you're so tough, huh?
Yue. Oh, they're gonna hallucinate people they've lost. They're gonna hallucinate people they've lost. So Katara, her mother, Sokka, Yue, Aang, maybe the monk, Gyatso. Maybe Gyatso for Aang. Yeah.
You didn't protect me.
Oh no.
Hello? Who are you?
Oh no.
Hey!
Who is she?
Back!
So not Gyatso, someone else. Maybe Aang's mother? Did Aang have a mother? I mean, he must have had a mother. Gee, he can just jump. I mean, I don't know if he's actually using any airbending power there, but he can really jump. He can really jump.
No, that's what they call a lemur.
A lemur. Lemur.
Bet he tastes a lot like possum chicken.
Possum chicken.
Come on now, fellas. Nothing to worry about. We just fixing to eat ya.
Oh yeah, nothing to worry about. We're just gonna munch on your flesh and leave your bones to dry
Well,
out.
we are.
You don't have to tell them that.
Well, how'd I know they'd understand me?
Come on.
Oh god. Oh, is he a waterbender? Oh, okay, so they're not earthbenders then, they're actually waterbenders. Interesting, okay. Waterbenders in a swamp, which would make sense. Either waterbenders or earthbenders.
I thought I saw Yue, but that doesn't prove anything. Look, I think about her all the time. And you saw Mom, someone you miss a lot.
So what's with Aang then? What's his one?
I didn't know the girl I saw.
For the last time, there's nothing after us, and there's nothing magical happening here.
After all this happened, you're still this much of a skeptic, holy crap. Is that Groot? Is that Groot? is that Groot? Groot's the one been attacking them and everything? Oh boy. That looks like Groot's face. That does look like Groot's face, but a giant swamp Groot. Yeah. Swoot. Yeah. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, water cuts right through. Water can cut right through. And it has a healing factor. Oh boy. Oh, parting it like Moses. Oh, that's so cool. Oh god, it's absorbing him. It's an absorber laugh. Oh god. No. Oh, Appa's being chased. Oh, Appa's being chased. Oh god. Oh, he's just throwing their stuff. He's just throwing their stuff.
Now, what would a lemur need a shirt for?
You guys are just, He's actually running along the water too. I don't think I've ever seen him run. I mean, he just, oh no, now they got Momo in a bag. No, Appa, you gotta turn back, rescue your buddy. Oh, ice. Nice. Very nice ice. Very nice. Oh, punched a hole right through it. Oh. What does this thing actually want though? Is it actually annoyed that Sokka's been cutting it up and stuff, or what? Oh no, there's someone inside. There's someone inside, like an earthbender maybe. Like an earthbender perhaps.
There's someone in there!
Yeah.
He's bending the vine!
It has to be an earthbender.
We were flying over and I heard something calling to me, telling me to land.
He's the Avatar. Stuff like that happens to us a lot.
Yeah.
The Avatar. I protect the swamp from folks that want to hurt it. Like this fella with his big knife.
Sokka,
Completely
yeah.
reasonable. Not a monster, just a regular guy defending his own.
Yeah, so maybe
Nothing
you should.
mystical about it.
He's a bender, it's still mystical. Yeah.
See, this whole swamp is actually just one tree spread out over miles.
Ah.
Branches spread, then sink and take root, and then spread some more.
Yeah,
One
just the
big
heart
living
growing
organism,
and building
just
up more
like
and
the
more.
entire world.
Yeah, so it's all one thing, one tree. It's sprouting more mini trees. Yeah.
We are all living together, even if most folks don't act like it.
That's
We
a really
all
good
have
message.
The same roots, and we are all branches of the same tree.
That is a really
But
good
what do our
message.
visions mean?
Time is an illusion. So it's someone I will.
Someone you're gonna meet, but it doesn't mean it's someone he's
Sorry
gonna lose to in
interrupt
the
lesson,
future.
But we still need to find Appa and Momo.
Everything is connected.
Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh okay. Is he just sending out like a signal, like a fiber, like Avatar but fiber optic, or fiber optic but Avatar?
Hey, you. How you been?
Hugh?
You know,
His name is
scared
Hugh?
some folks,
Hugh?
swung some vines, the usual.
Oh god, Hugh. Really? Jeez.
Just a bunch of greasy people living in a swamp.
What about the visions?
I told you we were hungry.
She literally said it was
eating a
people
giant
you've
bug.
loved and lost.
What about when the tree showed me where Appa and Momo were?
That's Avatar stuff. That
No,
doesn't count.
that doesn't count as
The only thing I
Avatar
can't
stuff.
figure out is how you made the tornado that sucked us down.
I can't do anything like that. I just bend the water in the plants.
Mysticality, mystery, yeah.
Well, no accounting for weather.
After everything that's happened, how can you still be this skeptical?
Who's there?
Zuko? Zuko. Is it Zuko? Is Zuko fighting back? The Blue Spirit! The Blue Spirit! The Blue Spirit's back! Yeah, Zuko dressed up as the Blue Spirit, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun, very, very mystical, very, very kind of eerie, and, you know, like, it had a peculiar level of horror to it in the sense of like separation and the kind of like the overall eeriness of the swamp. But overall, it was like a really, really like mystical kind of episode. And you know what? One thing that surprises me is that given how much they've already been through in one season alone, given how much they've already seen, given how much they've already kind of gone through, all the lessons they've learned, all the different kind of philosophies they've come across, the people, the obstacles they face, like given what's already happened and how much they've been through, I'm still kind of intrigued by how skeptical Socket is, like how skeptical he still is, and how skeptical he still insists on being. Like he literally, first episode, him and his sister literally thaw out the Avatar, like the next Avatar that was supposed to be here hundreds of years ago, and then from then on it's just non-stop action and adventure and drama and all these different kind of, again, all these different kind of, you know, like mystical kind of obstacles and philosophies and all these different kind of characters coming into their lives and all these different things happening. So like him still being this skeptical and insisting that, you know, like everything that's happening could all be normal and could still be explainable and still, you know, be somewhat kind of human, is still kind of bizarre to me. And I think it's not necessarily annoying. It's just like, you know, like I think it kind of like shows this kind of side to him where he still wants to be able to believe in stuff that can happen, and he still wants to I think he's like, it's some sense of maybe uncomfortability in being in a situation that he can't explain, and being in because like if he's in a situation that he can't explain, then that means that he himself can find a way out, and he still kind of has that much more chance of maybe like believing in survival. Whereas if he's ever in a situation that he can't explain or that he doesn't fully understand, then he is kind of like he himself, he strives to be a survivor, he strives to always be able to make it out at the end of the day. So I think it's like if he ever admits to himself or starts to believe that he's in a situation that he can't explain, then his chances of surviving go down by that much more, and also like saving his friends and his family too, like he already help them survive either. So I think I think it might mostly be down to that too. Like if he can't explain it, then that means he probably can't survive it, and he doesn't really kind of like not being able to survive something and not being able to use his own skills and his own wits to try and outlast something. So that could be one reason. But also I think the way he goes about it too, like the way he insists that this is what it is, that there's some perfectly reasonable and normal explanation for all this. Like it's like, I think the way he goes about it is pretty textbook skepticism, where it's like, you know, even especially as a person who's already seen this stuff, I think, you know, I think it's somewhat more intriguing this way because of the fact that I think it's like it would be annoying if it was also someone who was right at the beginning but then refused to open their mind, like at the beginning of this kind of journey but refused to open their mind. But with Sokka, it's like, you know, he always kind of has something to contribute, or at least like most of the time he has something to contribute, and he still kind of comes in swinging in some way at the end of the day. But then with this, I think it's even more intriguing with like, you know, like one season in, like now entering the second season, it's like he has like him still having this approach kind of shows that he still has a lot to learn, and he still feels he has a lot to learn, but then he's also kind of not ready to let go of his own, you know, I mean, he has a sister who's a waterbender, and he has like a new best friend who's like an airbender, and he's the Avatar too. So I think him being the most human character of them all, I think he still feels like he has to have something to believe in, and he has to have something to actually kind of identify with, and he has to kind of be able to find his own way out. And it's like, you know, he can't do that if he's the one being thrust into all these kind of supernatural situations, and he's being thrust into like a world full of powers and everything. So I think it's like an interesting kind of display of his character that is actually quite enjoyable to see. So I'm curious as to how he might progress beyond that mindset, or how he might adapt to that mindset a bit more. Like, okay, even if it's unexplainable, I still have to try and actually. That might then be his way to actually trying to bring the mysticism down to more realism and trying to ground himself in those situations, actually trying to ground the situations with him, and actually trying to be like, okay, well, these vines might be being controlled by someone with earthbending powers, but I'm still human. I got my machete. I can still slice and dice and everything, and just slash my way to freedom and everything, which is what he was doing and stuff. So. It didn't really work out entirely, but at the same time, it's like, you definitely see why that's what he would resort to, and it's like those are the techniques he's familiar with, so that kind of stuff was really interesting. That's really interesting. But then, we had I think with the end of this episode, I think it confirmed that we had the combination of a really kind of masterful and very, very kind of tricky kind of earthbending dude who didn't really have any Jing. He didn't specifically have any. He was attacking, so he really didn't have Jing. But he or at least positive. Or no, positive, was it positive or negative? I think positive was attacking. Right? But I think positive was attacking, and then neutral was just neutral, and the negative was actually retreating and stuff. So he was more in command of his positive Jing. But I think it was the combination of him being an earthbender inside all those vines, and like the Groot face mask and everything, and then also the swamp itself being mystical and powerful in its own sense. And I really enjoyed that too. I think to begin with, like the first and second kind of acts of the episode definitely kind of focused on how the swamp in itself is sentient enough to give you all these different kind of feelings of creepiness and eeriness, but then deep down as well, I think by the end of it you realize deep down it's like a living organism in and of itself, and it's like, it's definitely it is defending itself with all these different methods. But then Hugh as well, the earthbender Hugh, I can't get over the fact that his name is Hugh. Like he's I think he's arguably the most powerful bender of them all, because I think Tho and Do were just waterbenders who were hungry and decided to go out their own way, but then Hugh managed to use his bending powers to actually craft himself a giant vine monster, and he kind of appointed himself protector of the swamp and everything. But then he's Hugh, so I love that even the characters themselves got a bit of a kick out of that. Like, you're this, like, you're all this, and your name is Hugh. Like, it's so simple yet so so powerful at the same time. So I think it's like a key to never underestimate, like never judge a book by its cover, never judge someone by how silly or simplistic their name might be, because they might just turn out to be a powerful bender. But I think it was definitely the combination of having like this kind of really mystical and powerful swamp, and then also the guy protecting. I think not only like a guy protecting it, but a guy who understood the power of the swamp too. And I think like a guy who understood the power of it, its life force, and how precious it was, and what it meant to the world as well. And I think the message that comes with it too, like the swamp is all one tree, and even like the rest of the the biggest tree is unarguably like the center of the swamp, the biggest tree, the heart of the swamp that actually is where the swamp began, and then actually dug its roots into the ground to the point where it was actually able to embed like millions of other roots into the ground and actually spout other trees, and then actually form the swamp. So the swamp is all still technically one. Now it really can't be said the same, because after all the chopping that Sokka has done, it's gonna after the chopping the Sokka's done, it might have to regrow some new branches, but I think that could also still count the same, because he never went for roots. Sokka never really went for roots, so he didn't really take any trees down as well. He just kind of sliced to vines and branches and all that kind of stuff. So it's mostly like stuff that's like been severed halfway, but then not necessarily at the base, so you can still regrow and reincarnate that. But then I think it's still going to be hard to identify the age of the tree, because most of it is could be millions of years old, but then there are little smaller branches and vines here and there that, thanks to Sokka, are now going to be dated millions of years apart. But I think the message he had behind the tree too, like he saw one tree, he saw one living organism, and that even goes on to try and represent the world too. Like the world itself is just one giant kind of ball of earth and all these different elements combined. Like the earth, that the world itself is built up of all these elements, and then the people themselves, the people themselves have decided to separate themselves based on elements and control and all their different kind of territories and all these different kind of arbitrary rules that they themselves have created. But then people are still people. People still come from the same roots, and they still share the same planet, and they share the same leaf and the same rock and everything. So I think that alone is like a really beautiful message to send too, and I think it's definitely applicable to the real world. Like definitely a message that can be received by many people in the real world, and kind of showing that unity is kind of like the strongest kind of force for like this is the strongest kind of driving force to kind of approach the future and everything. I think that kind of message was really sweet and really cool to hear. So and Hugh himself kind of like believes in that so strongly, which makes him, I think is probably why the swamp accepted him, because I don't know if the swamp would maybe accept. I'm not sure if the swamp would actually accept just any defender, but maybe it would actually need one that actually understood the power of the swamp and the power of life and the power of and like the value of its life too. So like Hugh kind of understanding how the swamp grows and how it breeds and how it lives and how everything's connected, and you can really see everything too was really cool. So yeah, he is its almighty defender, and the swamp is, it's just one swamp trying to live its days in peace and everything. So I think like that kind of, I think that could deep down end up teaching Aang that as the Avatar, he is destined to not only control the four elements, but to unite them. To the Fire Nation were the ones who decided that because of their power, because of their control over fire, they needed to reign supreme, and they need to have all the other elements and all the other kind of people under their control. But then I think Aang might be the one to now the Avatar. I think by tradition and by nature, the Avatar having control over all four elements has to be the one to try and foster unity and peace, and they have to be the one to actually try and bring people together in the same message too, like we would like in the same kind of light and the same message too, like actually reminding people like we all live and breathe on the same rock, we all come from the same roots, but we now have different powers and we have different territories. But what's needed is what's necessary for us, and like especially in order to actually sustain the planet and to sustain life too, like we all need to unite and actually come together and actually celebrate differences, but also acknowledge our similarities and actually try and be one. So I can definitely kind of see that being. I think Aang being the Avatar, like Aang being this young, him still wanting to just have like by nature, Aang is a very, very fun and playful child, and he definitely believes in bringing people together and actually bringing people under one roof and actually trying to actually get along and everything. So I think he might easily be the one to try and foster that message and actually try and actually like encourage that kind of mission too. So yeah, it's really good. It is really good. Yeah, and then of course we had Tho and Do, the waterbenders, the waterbending kind of, I think again, not to judge a book too much by its cover, but I think season 1 has taught me that each different kind of elemental tribe and like elemental kind of sector of the kind of population of this world has their own color scheme. So like typically I feel like that seems like a reasonable way to kind of identify them, like if they're wearing like a blue and light blue, and so if they're just wearing blue at all, then they're more likely to be a part of that tribe, even if they're not specifically a bender. I don't think like every person in the waterbending tribe is a bender, or I think I need to actually go back and check season 1, or actually just kind of look that up, like to see, because I think it's probably been mentioned before, but I think I just keep forgetting, like whether or not everyone has the potential to be a bender, or if maybe the potential is stronger than others. Maybe if it's like the Force, like depending on how many midichlorians you have, you become that much more kind of connected to the Force, and you have that much more control and that much easy access to the Force. And that's something I wonder if there's like a similar kind of thing for this, where maybe people have varying levels of potential to become benders, or maybe everyone has a potential, but then it's like it takes like study and practice to actually become a bender, and actual like studies of self-control and everything. So maybe that kind of comes into play. But yeah, I think these guys were waterbenders. I think these were like they wore green. They wore like I think that might have been more just out of necessity. Like maybe they just didn't have waterbending clothes, or like maybe they just weren't part of a water tribe. So maybe like if you're part of the water tribe, then you get this. But I mean, maybe if you're part of the actual kingdom, maybe if you're part of the sector, maybe if you're part of the Fire Nation, or if you're part of the Earth Kingdom, or if you're part of something, if you're part of something that actually signifies an actual officiated kind of sector of these different elements, then you get the color scheme. But otherwise, it's like if you're just kind of like traveling hunters, like Tho and Do were, then maybe you just kind of get your own clothes and you get your own shit on your own time. So maybe they actually just kind of fashioned swamp stuff into different materials and everything. But yeah, Tho and Do, they were hungry waterbending humans. And they had some skills. And they were actually hunting. They were hunting Appa and Momo. Easily had one of the most chaotic journeys in this episode that I've seen them have yet. They just kind of, I think it's like, I think they really nailed the whole aspect of Appa and Momo not being able to communicate accurately with each other. Like even with I think, well, at least not with the humans. I think being animals, they can actually communicate something like fairly accurately with each other. But then with humans, they just make different kind of their own little animalistic noises. But then with each other, they have some semblance of communication. Like they just kind of do things and respond accordingly. And like Appa just kind of just not knowing what to do and where to go, and him being hungry and him just wanting to sleep, and then him being caught up in the vines, and Momo just kind of being the most nimble one, him kind of biting through the vines, and him actively throwing stuff at them to try and get them off their tail too. So they had a fun time with them, trying not to be hunted. So that was cool. And then the hallucinations. So I figured as soon as Katara saw her mother and then Sokka saw Yue, I figured, it has to be lost loved ones. It has to be lost loved ones, like people they've loved that they've lost, and stuff that like seems somewhat more recent, but also just close to the heart. And for Katara, her mother would make sense. Then for Sokka, Yue would also make sense. But then I think because of that, I was fully expecting Aang to end up seeing Gyatso. I was fully expecting Aang to end up seeing Gyatso. I think what made it more, what made it even more eerie was I think because we haven't really seen, because Katara losing her mother is in history. We've not seen even in flashback form, we haven't really seen Katara interacting with her mother in any way. So I think I'm wondering if that was because she was too young when her mother was lost to the Fire Nation or something, or maybe it's just something she'd rather not remember or whatever. But either way, we haven't really seen any kind of any actual interactive flashbacks between them or any scenes of interaction between them as of yet. So I think because of that, it made it even more kind of that much more kind of clever, or maybe that much more that much more an accurate kind of identification, where it's a woman that she can't interact with, a woman who has her back turned to Katara, but then Katara almost immediately recognizes her as her mother, and then as soon as she goes to interact with her, it's just like a tree or like a little tree stump thing in the ground that kind of has light reflecting off of it, so that hallucination happens. But then Sokka actually got to know Yue. He interacted with her. He fell in love. They fell in love with each other. But then with Yue and Sokka, it's more they're I think her line was why didn't you try and save me, or why didn't you do more to save me? I think maybe his more kind of embedded fear that maybe he didn't do enough to save her. Maybe he actually could have tried harder, and maybe his own guilt is there. But it's also I think mainly it's the baseline of it is that he is seeing someone he lost as much, and someone more recent too, someone a lot more recent. So then, so I think for Aang, I was fully expecting Gyatso, but then no, I think because of how time, I think Hugh mentioned that time is an imaginary concept. I think he mentioned time is an imaginary concept, or it's a fake concept or something. So it's it doesn't run the way you expect it to, and stuff like that. So maybe in line with having those visions, that little girl was meant to be someone I think I am curious if we're meant to maintain the kind of that kind of concept of it's still someone you've lost. So maybe it's someone he hasn't met yet, but then maybe he still will lose after meeting them. So maybe he still meets them and whoever they are, and then he gets to know them, and then he loses her afterwards. I mean, that's just going to be painful. That's just going to be painful to watch. But either way, for Aang, the one twist was that it was actually a little girl who he didn't know yet, and he was going to meet fairly soon. So that will be an interesting interaction to meet. I think because we never. I think it was always distant shots too. I don't know if Aang ever actually got a close enough look at her, or if he actually I don't know if Aang ever got a close enough look at her face, because I think all he was able to identify was there was a little girl, she was laughing, and she was wearing a fancy looking dress. I think that's as much as he was able to to get out of that kind of visualization. But then he never actually, I think he never really, at least we as an audience never really got a close enough look at her face. But then she was constantly running too, so then as he was chasing after, he never really got like a close look at her face. I think I'm hoping, little girl in a fancy dress is going to be enough for him to kind of identify her in the future. But then, yeah, I'm very curious to know what that story is about. So I guess in good time we shall find out. Yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got for now. So with that ending, they still have to find the Earthbending Master, but I think this was a good kind of little bit of a sidestep, a little bit of a. I think this definitely felt pretty much like filler. This definitely felt like a pretty kind of baseline like filler. I think it kind of just like had like a cool, like I think putting them through some kind of tense and stressful situation, but then at the end actually teaching them an important message to remember when they're going on their journey and when they're actually learning new tricks and when they're enforcing their bending, like this is what you have to remember about the people around you and about the world around you, so go forth with this newfound knowledge and wisdom and stuff. Because I think he even said it's not just the way the swamp works, but it's also the way the world works. I think you can go forward with that kind of wisdom and you'll be happier for it. So I'm very eager to see how the story continues from here, and seeing when Aang meets that girl and what happens with her and how her story is introduced and how it gets carried on and stuff. So should all be very, very fun to see. We also have the Blue Spirit back too. We have the Blue Spirit back. So I think that had to be Zuko. That had to be Zuko dressing up as the. I think I'm curious as to how he actually got his hands back on the mask and everything in the first place. But Zuko. I think Zuko's the only one we've actually seen dressing up as the Blue Spirit in the last season. I think it makes sense that he'd be the one to bring it back. So now he's acting. So this time he was actively attacking that guy who made Iroh sing and dance with his sword play as well. So I think Iroh can sing. I don't know if we have. I'm not. I think no, we have. We had Iroh singing in last season. I think we did have Iroh singing on Zuko's Fire Nation ship in the last season. He was actually singing and making music with the other Fire Nation kind of soldiers on the ship and everything. So he can sing. And he has a lovely voice for it too. He has a very lovely voice for it too. So looking forward to seeing what more musical tunes and melodies that Iroh can produce in the future, and seeing if he can actually maybe start a band or something. But unlikely. But one can still dream. One can dream. I think it would be perfectly believable if that was even a dream for Iroh as well. Like after all he's done, maybe he actually does have some songs and some stories to tell in song form, in music form, at some point in the future. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if he actually does express interest in starting some kind of a band, maybe even like a multicultural band with like all different, like all the members being of different kind of elemental kind of tribes too. That would be really cool to see. But either way, he's got a great voice and he's willing to sing for money. So he's a great man. So yeah, but now the Blue Spirit is back. So now I think it would be cool to see if Zuko actually if Zuko goes up against May and Azula and Ty Lee as the Blue Spirit as well. It would be interesting to see if he actually does go up against them as the Blue Spirit with some firebending actually mixed in as well. So yeah, I guess we'll see. All in good time. But that is definitely all I've got from this one. All I've got from this episode. So let me know what you guys thought and what your thoughts are and how you feel about this episode and how you feel going forward into the rest of the season. But yeah, that is it. So that is Avatar, The Last Airbender, Season 2, Episode 4. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Avatar, The Last Airbender. Once again, the full-length reaction will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that one out over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.